Hi there. Thank you so much for reading this week's newsletter. All right. So I've been talking a lot about morphology in my little video messages in the emails this school year because I just find that no matter how much OG training anybody has, the questions surrounding morphology, how to incorporate it, how to execute a lesson, just constantly come back. And why? This is just such a meaty and broad part of structured literacy. The learning truly never ends, right? For learning about structured literacy, but particularly with morphology. There's just always more to dig deeper. And I know if you've had any discussions about morphology with anybody, they'll recommend books to read to you. And it almost feels like you fall down a bit of a rabbit hole. So it's like, okay, how can I structure all of this learning into maybe just this small chunk of time that you have in a lesson with your students that gives them the most bang for their buck and for you, so you know that you're addressing their needs. So, and I've brought this up a few times before, I have morphology resources that I have been using, particularly this year with my older students who really, really need more vocabulary building and more morphology practice to build their morphological awareness. And they've gone through many of the OG concepts with me, and their decoding is intact. They really do need this component of structured literacy, especially as they're getting older, going into middle school or in middle school. So when you look at morpheme blocks, and I've talked about this before, this is a really great structure. If you're short on time, you need a visual. So many kids, not just children with dyslexia, even like our EL kids, really need that visual to demonstrate whatever Latin root, whatever prefix you're trying to teach. So that really sparks the discussion. And then having examples where students can look for those words and then seeing them in context. This is where, as you delve into morphology, the use of context clues is going to become even more of an important skill to teach and model. And then having a writing portion has just been so helpful. This really does not take a lot of time out of your lesson, whatever you're trying to accomplish. And the companion, as you may know, is the bundle of morphology passages. So this was Cred, and then the Jane Goodall reading passage is the companion to that. So to dig deeper, these passages have lots of words with that particular Latin root that students can go through, find, highlight, and then there's a comprehension question at the end. The great thing about these that I have noticed people have been mentioning is they're bigger in size than one of the older morphology resources that I had put out a while back. The older one, I think, was just like on half sheets of paper. This is a full page. People really appreciate the length. It's not too overwhelming. They aren't written with high decodability. So that's really not the purpose. The purpose was to practice more utility of that particular root, prefix, Greek form, suffix, whatever. You get it. The nice thing is that you don't have to be locked into any one progression to use these resources. These will weave into really any progressions. Whenever you're ready to teach a particular morphological concept, morpheme, you can pull from these, and you don't have to go in the order that I present them, or you could. It's really up to you. So I think above all, people have mentioned how time-saving they are. So this is like, when I had gone through my certified training, I really could have used these materials. I could have used Morpheme Blocks, just like, use it as the introduction and then delve deeper into the reading passage. And they're finally available years after. So I've been using them with success. I know lots of teachers and tutors have been using them as well. I'd love to hear from you to see how they're working out. So they come in a bundle version, and they're also, the morphology passages are also split up into individual sets. And finally, before I go, The Morphology Passages bundle was a growing bundle, but no more. It is officially complete. Yay, happy dance. So if you already own it, make sure you go into TPT. So log in, you go to My Purchases and find the resource and re-download it so you have the most up-to-date version. All right, have a great week, and I'm rooting for you when you teach morphology. Take care.